Well, before we bring him in, actually, let's go ahead and bring him in. David Burton, come on in, take a seat. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty okay. Just got done catching the last 10 minutes of Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I slide over and let David take the reins here, I want to wish a happy belated birthday to a couple of people. First off, the chairman of World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated, Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon Jr. Happy birthday, Vinny. And also, Wrestling Track's very own, one of our hosts here on Wrestling Tracks, David Burton. A belated birthday to you. He's supposed to be on the show on his birthday. Technical difficulties would not allow that, so I wanted to take this dude to Suplex City so bad, but technical problems would not allow us to have him on the show on his birthday. So happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and slide over here, and David's going to take over. Ladies and gentlemen, David Burton.
How is everybody tonight? For those of you who didn't catch the All-In pay-per-view this past weekend, the show took place on Saturday, the 1st of September. And you know what? It was an amazing show. I can claim it was a good show. The matches were decent. In my personal opinion, I think the match that stole the show was the Kenny Omega-Pentagon Jr. match. Those two went at it. High spots, ground and pound, the match had everything. The match was amazing. And the surprise of the night, the biggest surprise of the night came right after the match, where the lights went out after Kenny Omega defeated Pentagon Jr. Kenny Omega was celebrating. The lights went out. The lights came back on. And Pentagon Jr. is laying in the middle of the ring. And out of nowhere, he gets up and attacks Kenny Omega, takes his mask off, and it's Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho attacks Kenny Omega. So Chris Jericho was not finished with Kenny Omega. So that is going to lead to another match in. Also at All In, an amazing hardcore match between Bullet Club's Hangman Page, and he had an amazing match with Joey Janela. Those two went at it. Those two beat the hell out of each other, and it was an amazing hardcore match. And another match that took place in that card, another match I thoroughly enjoyed, was Marty Scurll versus Kazuchika Okada. Those two, that match was amazing. Amazing match. If you missed it, please catch that pay-per-view. Order the replay now. It's amazing. And
hey,
for
David,
those of you who have... Yeah?
Real quick. I find it interesting at All In, the promoter of All In happens to be the NWA Heavyweight Champion of the world, Cody Rhodes.
Yes, him and the Young Bucks put that show together.
And he's also the NWA Champion.
Yes, you're absolutely right about that. Cody made history Saturday night. Him and his father are the first and only father-son duo to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. And you're absolutely right about that. And that was a touching, heartfelt moment to watch and witness. To see Cody Rhodes get that belt, to see him in tears and celebrating the ring with his wife, and see guys out there like Diamond Dallas Page and Tommy Dreamer celebrate with him. It was a heart-touching moment for Cody. I was happy for him. And he had an amazing match with Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis was a great NWA World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm sure he'll get his rematch calls when the time is right. But for now, it's Cody's time. Another thing I want to bring up that took place at All In was one of the worst things I've ever seen in a professional wrestling show. This stupid idiot, hate to steal a phrase from Chris Jericho, that stupid idiot, that stupid dick mode, Joey Ryan. Now, for those of you who missed it, Hangman Page has this thing going on, and there was a little video after he beat Joey Janela. You see Joey Ryan laying down in a hospital bed, and he gets a hard on. He's the guitar, and then the lights go out. Yeah.
Wow.
Let me explain it. This is ridiculous. This is one of the worst, by far one of the worst things I've ever seen in professional wrestling. This is not what wrestling is about. I do not stand for it. I do not accept it. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was stupid, and it shouldn't have ever taken place. But anyway, that's what happened. Anyway, the guy gets an erection, the lights go out, and the lights come back on, and you see a group of people dressed as dicks on the stage.
Oh, my.
As if the Undertaker was walking out with druids, but instead of druids, it's a dick. It's ridiculous. And then Joey Ryan makes his way out to the ring, gets in the ring, does his thing, beats the crap out of Hangman Page, and that's it. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in professional wrestling. I don't stand for it. I don't like it. I think the whole thing is stupid. It makes wrestling look bad. It's sad. It's sad. It's a sad thing. I don't like it at all.
Wow.
Even as I'm talking about, I'm getting upset. It's ridiculous. I don't know what else to say. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst things I've ever seen in professional wrestling, and it should have never, ever taken place. That guy should not even be in pro wrestling. It's a damn shame to a fine sport like this, and to post something like that up on Facebook. But anyway, other than that tragedy, the show was good. The show was good, and rumor has it there may be a part 2. So for those of you who missed it, I suggest you check the show out and watch the show. The show was good. And on to Hell in the Cell, which is scheduled to take place later on this month. Announced matches have been AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe, Hell in a Cell. Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton, Hell in a Cell. The Shields, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose is scheduled to face Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And of course, Roman Reigns will defend the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman, who is cashing in his Money in the Bank ladder match victory, his briefcase, at that show.
Wait, there's more. Later on that night, later on that month, I'm just adding stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. This is David's show. I'm just bringing some small stuff here. Later on that month, it's Ladies' Night, David.
You're absolutely right. Evolution.
Yes, sir.
Well, there was history. Like, I believe, let me get my cheat sheet here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe it's 5 matches, well, 6 matches that have been announced so far. 5 of them are title matches. The NXT Women's Championship match, the NXT UK Women's Championship, both the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles will also be defended. And the finals of the Mae Young Classic will also take place at that pay-per-view. Plus, Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus. So that's already 6 matches. And rumor has it that Asuka will face Lita at Evolution. So if this rumor is true, then you have already 7 matches scheduled for that pay-per-view. So that's going to be a very, very interesting show. And I also heard that scheduled to appear at Evolution will be Hall of Famers such as Alundra Blaze, Beth Phoenix, Ivory, Molly Holly, Jacqueline, and several other females from the past are scheduled to appear at this pay-per-view. So that's going to be an interesting pay-per-view, an interesting card. And you know what, to be honest, the pressure's on WWE. They have never, ever done a pay-per-view like this, and this pay-per-view needs to be good. This pay-per-view needs to sell. I think WWE is putting a lot of pressure on themselves doing this all-women's pay-per-view here. So it's going to be interesting to see how this turns out. And you know what, to be honest, it has to be good. Especially if they want to follow after what All In did. With the exception of that stupid dick segment, the show was very good. So this women's show has to be good. What do you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and we're gonna take a break right after this. I actually didn't see any of All In. I've just now heard about the dick thing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, obviously All In, the All In promotion does whatever Cody's company is. Obviously, they do not support that. So maybe punishments will be handed down later, a fine, firing, whatever. But I'm like, I bet there were legends who were watching that probably were pissed off.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
But that being said, we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be right back. And David's going to take over after this, and we'll be right back.
My name is Scott McGrath. The day before my 8th birthday, I fell in a pile of fire ants and suffered significant wounds on over 70% of my body. Since that day, I have made a solemn vow to kill every insect on planet Earth. I hate them with the passion of a religious zealot. Speaking of religion, of all the biblical plagues, I hate the locust plague the most. For the last 12 years, my white-hot rage has materialized in the form of my business, McGrath Pest Control. I have harnessed this unforgivable intolerance of insects and released the wrath of my fury on bugs in and around the homes of Houston. I will kill those bugs in any way that I can. Chemicals, my boot, my bare fist, or any other object that can end the life of an insect. Call 281-469-8240 and give me the honor of killing bugs at your house. I also hate rats and spiders. Go to McGrathPestControl.com.
Yes, sir, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got 46 minutes left. Back to the show with David Burton.
Oh, yes. And another interesting thing that took place during All In, I thought that was pretty cool, was Jay Lethal defending his ROH World Heavyweight Championship against Flip Gordon. And the cool thing about that was Jay Lethal, who went back and did his Black Machismo gimmick, a tribute to the late Randy Savage. The cool thing was he came out to the whole Macho Man theme, and seeing the Macho Man's brother Randy Poffo come out and endorse Jay Lethal, that was awesome. That was a cool part of the show. And that match he had with Flip Gordon was good. It was a very good match, entertaining match. Back and forth match, and all the little theatrics Jay Lethal did, paying homage to the Macho Man, doing a lot of the Macho Man's mannerisms and moves, and he hit 3 flying elbows off the top rope to beat Flip Gordon in a very, very good match. And Flip Gordon, who actually won a 15-man battle royal to earn the right to face Jay Lethal for the world title after eliminating Bully Ray. Bully Ray would later come back, after Jay Lethal and Flip Gordon's match, attack both men, attack Randy Poffo, which led to Colt Cabana coming out, saving the day, and Bully Ray would end up getting put through a table for his troubles. All In was a fun show. Not only that, Christopher Daniels, he also wrestled and defeated the Arrow star from the TV series Arrow. Those of you might remember him, Stephen Amell, from competing at SummerSlam, teaming with Neville to defeat Cody Rhodes and Stardust and Wade Barrett. Well, anyway, he wrestled a match at All In against Christopher Daniels and lost the match. Pretty boring match. A lot of people wasn't into it. A lot of people was more happy when the match was over. But I give the guy credit. He did his best. He took a tremendous table spot, diving off the top rope and landing through a table. That was just about it for All In. And as we stated earlier, WWE will make history with the first ever all-women's pay-per-view Evolution. Not only that, WWE also has Hell in a Cell, and we will also see the second NXT TakeOver War Games. So it will be NXT TakeOver War Games 2 coming up, and I believe that is the night before the Survivor Series, 2018 Survivor Series, for those of you keeping score at home and listening. Anyway, yes, there will be another War Games. I'm interested to see what teams are going to be participating in this War Games. Last year's NXT War Games was amazing. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The match was good. I just watched it over a few days ago, and I might watch it again later on. The match was exceptional.
Yes, sir.
And,
but by the way,
NXT UK will be starting soon.
Yes, sir.
They just crowned the NXT UK Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. As I stated earlier, she will defend the NXT Women's Championship at Evolution. She defeated Toni Storm, and during the match, Toni Storm was injured, so she'll be out a few months before she steps back into the ring. And Jasmine Duke, the former MMA fighter, a member of the MMA's 4 Horsewomen, just made her NXT debut at a house show this past weekend. And I didn't see the match again. It was a house show, but from what I heard, she was very, very impressive. She looked good, and a lot of people in the crowd liked what they saw. So, right now, it's official. The WWE has all 4 members of the MMA 4 Horsewomen.
Yes, sir. That's awesome.
Yes, and Ronda Rousey is the only one that's on the main roster. The other 3 are currently on NXT with the former champion. Of course, we all know who that is, Shayna Baszler, who just recently lost her Women's Championship to Kairi Sane at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. And for those of you who did not see that, I suggest you check that show out on the WWE Network. And for those of you who do have New Japan World and didn't see All In is currently available on New Japan World for streaming. And for those of you who don't have New Japan World, I suggest you subscribe to it now. It's the same exact price as the WWE Network, $9.99. 9.99 yen for the Japanese listeners out there. And New Japan World is structured sort of just like the WWE Network, and yes, there is English commentary. You get every New Japan pay-per-view and every New Japan show since the company's inception in 1972, which was started by WWE Hall of Famer Antonio Inoki, who was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame back in 2010, the night before WrestleMania 26, which happened to be Shawn Michaels' last match, who appeared on Raw. I didn't see this, but I heard the Undertaker interrupted Shawn Michaels' promo, and the two of them, I guess, had a stand-on or a competition, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. Me, I'm sure you saw it, so you can provide more info with this. I didn't see it yet. Did you see Shawn's segment?
Actually, I did. It was interesting. They had words a little bit, Taker and Shawn. And basically, Taker was like, you know what? This was business. Now you just made it personal.
Uh-oh.
So at first this was business. Now it's personal.
Interesting. Being that Triple H is the best friend of Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker wants to win, Triple H wants to win. It's the last time the two of them will ever face each other in a match, and both men want to win the match just as much as the next guy. So that's the intriguing thing of that match. My thing is, the winner of the match is going to be the person that wants it the most. It's going to be the person that's going to want to take that extra step. I don't know who's going to win. To be honest, I don't even know how much the Undertaker has left in the tank. Because if Triple H does what he did to him at WrestleMania 27 and the year after that at WrestleMania 28 inside Hell in a Cell, Triple H does that, and this match will not last, in my personal opinion. What do you think? What do you think is actually going to win?
Quite frankly, I just can't wait to see it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 37 minutes left. David, have at it, brother.
I really don't know who's going to win that match. Right now, what I do know is that one match, that is the only match that they're actually promoted for that Super Showdown, is the Undertaker versus Triple H.
Oh, no, there's much more. There's much more. Yeah. We have The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Now, right now, they're promoting that one match, but there's a lot on the card. There's The Miz versus Daniel Bryan. The winner of that match gets a title shot. Now, this is a spoiler, so if you're not really into spoilers, you might want to mute me right now. Kevin Owens versus two other guys I'm not sure of right now. It looks like they're going to fight The Shield down in Australia.
Yeah. Well, last time I checked, John Cena is scheduled to face Kevin Owens at Super Showdown. Unless they're changing. You know for a fact, John Cena is scheduled to compete at Super Showdown.
Oh, interesting. By the way, John Cena has been in Australia doing some sort of body, some sort of muscle competition and everything. So he's already, I think right now he's already in Australia, I believe.
I know last week, I believe it was last week, he wrestled a few house shows.
Mm-hmm.
He did a series of tag team matches teaming with Lashley. It was either this weekend or last week. I don't remember which one. But I do know he wrestled a series of tag team match house shows teaming with Lashley around the country. That I do know. There are pictures and videos up on YouTube and up on the internet backing this. That's how I found out about it. Yes. I believe there's one match where he's actually him and Lashley against Elias and Corbin. You can't always count on the house show. People, if you've never been to a house show, I suggest you check a WWE house show out. Because you will see things you will not see on television. You will see a series of matches you will not see on television. Things like that happen.
Or on the network for that matter.
Yes. You never know what you're going to see at a house show. Because there's always been a saying in the history of the WWE, anything can happen in the WWE. I remember one time The Rock showed up at a house show out of nowhere. And that was one of the biggest surprises of the night. No one expected him to be there. He just showed up out of the blue. Chris Jericho, he did the same thing not too long ago. He showed up and wrestled a match at a house show. And, interesting, WWE ran a house show in the same city where Southie was doing a concert. So when I sat down and I thought about that, it kind of made sense for him to show up and wrestle a match. So that's how that happened. Oh yes, the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance, currently owned by the Smashing Pumpkins frontman William Corgan. They have their own web series up on YouTube called 10 Pounds of Gold. I've seen a few episodes. It's actually pretty good. For those of you who've never checked the show out and give it a chance, it's actually really good.
By the way, that guy is the very guy. He was the one of the lead guys of Impact Wrestling, the Smashing Pumpkins lead singer.
Oh yes, I forgot all about that. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. He was one of the lead guys of TNA. So Dixie screwed him over, and he quit and sued the company and Dixie. But I was happy for Billy when he got his money, that he was old. So and let me reiterate this so that the people listening can understand, he did not just only sue Dixie, he also sued the company as well. So, yeah, he pretty much got screwed over. He was promised a lot of things. He put a lot of his own money into that company. And to be technically, from a technical standpoint, this company probably wouldn't be here right now if it hadn't been for Billy Corgan. Because I remember, I believe it was last year's Bound for Glory, where it looked like it was going to be their very, very last show if it hadn't been for Billy pouring in his money and saving that company.
Oh, definitely. In fact, Impact Wrestling, TNA, whatever you want to call them, they went through a season of. Remember when ECW was on their last breath?
Yes.
That was their season for Impact Wrestling. It was like when TNA was. It was like when ECW was on the deathbed and they're breathing on their last few breaths. For a while, that was Impact Wrestling.
Well, I will say this: TNA has gotten a little. I'm sorry, folks. I'm so used to calling this company TNA. They've been TNA for so long. It's hard to remember Impact Wrestling. But anyway, I will say it's starting to be watchable. It's actually starting to get good. They've got some new people running the company. They've got some new people in charge. So the company is somewhat slowly starting to get better, and it's slowly starting to be watchable again. I just watched the last two pay-per-views, and the last two pay-per-views were actually pretty damn decent. I don't have a bad thing to say about the last two pay-per-views. I've seen a few impacts. They've been okay, but to make a long story short, it's watchable. I will say that, it's watchable. You know, you have Don Callis. For those of you who don't know who Don Callis is, he worked for WWE and ECW back in the day. He's currently he's one of the English commentators for New Japan Pro Wrestling. He also commentated for All In. He works behind the scenes for Impact Wrestling while he commentates at the same time. And he also has a former guest host who goes by the name of Dutchman Town. So you have those two working behind the scenes, and because of those two, the company's actually gotten a little bit better. So it's watching. And they're doing a tremendous job. You know, I like watching Austin Aries. I've always been a fan of Austin Aries. He's always great to watch. I like the new Eddie Edwards. Sort of crazy, sort of normal, whatever you want to call it. They might get me ready at this. Moose is not the best worker in the world, but he's, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now, but Moose is watchable. He's one of the biggest stars in the company. Big, tall, muscle-bound guy. He used to wrestle for ROH, Ring of Honor. Very talented guy. He moves fast. He's a good worker. He's a great worker. He works hard. We've got some decent workers. We've got some good workers. John Morrison's there as Johnny Impact. Sammy Callahan right now is doing the best work of his career. We got some old faces that made some comebacks to the company. Conan's there doing the earlier thing again. Petey Williams is back. Tessa Blanchard, the daughter of WWE Hall of Famer, original Four Horsemen member Tully Blanchard. She just won the women's title. She's an amazing worker. She's a good worker. She was in last year's Amazing Classic. She's awesome to watch. She just won the women's title. Pentagon Jr., his brother Phoenix, those guys are amazing to watch. Of course, Matt Seidel, the former Evan Bourne, he's there. So they got some good guys, they got some decent guys. Like I said before, I'll say it again. It's watchable. For those of you who haven't watched it in a while, I suggest you watch it, check it out. It's worth checking out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they come on every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Pop TV. And they're also on Twitch as well. And they're also on the GWN Network app, which is a streaming service. They're also on there as well. Actually, all of TNA is on that app. Every single TNA from when the company started back in 2002 and now is on. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in the world of wrestling right now. I do know Chris Jericho has approached WWE with the idea of doing IC champion versus IC champion, WWE's Intercontinental champion, Seth Rollins versus New Japan's IWGP Intercontinental champion, who happens to be Chris Jericho himself. And I know he's approached the higher-ups of WWE that idea, that storyline. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens with that. Me personally, I would love to see an IC champion versus IC champion. It's never been done before. So I would love to see that. I would love to see Rollins versus Jericho. Who's the better Intercontinental champion? 2-time Intercontinental champion Seth Rollins. 10-time Intercontinental champion Chris Jericho. Yes, I know some of you listening to this and they say, wait a minute, he's a 9-time Intercontinental champion, which is true, but 9 in WWE, 1 in New Japan, so that's a 10 times Intercontinental champion. And I hope it happens. It would be a pretty intriguing story if the WWE allows this to happen. I hope it happens. I want to see that. That would be awesome. And people have said, what's next for Brock Lesnar? Well, what's next for Brock Lesnar is the UFC. Brock Lesnar, who's scheduled to fight in January, he's scheduled to challenge Daniel Cormier for the UFC Heavyweight Championship. And should Brock Lesnar win, he will be a 2-time UFC Heavyweight Champion. Brock Lesnar is one of the biggest stars the UFC has ever had. So that's going to be a massive, massive pay-per-view buy rate when this fight happens.
And it's coming up soon, September 8th.
Yes. Yes, that's true. And what about this Rock rumor going around? The Rock scheduled to appear at the Royal Rumble, similar to what he did in 2013. Rumor has it that The Rock is scheduled to appear at the Royal Rumble. They compete in the Royal Rumble match. That's the rumor going around. Even though the rumor has yet to be confirmed, I have heard that this rumor is possibly true. You know what? I hope it is true. It'll be nice to see The Rock in the WWE ring again. The Rock has stated on more than one occasion he can't wait to get back into the ring. Aside from his busy schedule with his upcoming movies and his Ballers HBO TV show, he has been helping training his oldest daughter. His oldest daughter is training to be a wrestler, and he's been heavily involved in her training. So,
wow, 4th generation.
Yes, 4th generation wrestler. So we'll see what happens with that. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen later on down the line with Rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got about actually they count us down, dude. We got about 20 minutes left.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to stick to wrap up here. Okay. I believe we got, what is this? August? No, it's September. So I believe we have one NXT takeover left. And I believe we got TLC, Survivor Series, Evolution, Hell in a Cell. We have 4 remaining WWE pay-per-views left on the calendar year. ROH is having a big pay-per-view coming up, so I suggest you check that out when it airs on pay-per-view. I'll keep you guys posted. I will be posting on the Wrestling Charts page, and I will be putting up some of the next big shows for some of the biggest companies around the world, including New Japan and ROH, of course Impact Wrestling, and of course WWE. Everything that the WWE has planned. The WWE does have some upcoming network specials coming soon. Like, for example, there will be new episodes of The Photo Shoot, new episodes of Camp WWE, and Table for 3. They also just recently added new episodes of WCW Saturday Night. They also added some rare matches to their Hidden Gems collection, so check that out. And Kenny Omega, who is scheduled to defend his IWGP World Heavyweight Championship belts soon against an unnamed opponent coming up. Not sure who it is. I do know Chris Jericho will face Omega again. Not sure when this will happen. After what happened at All In, Jericho attacking Omega and winning another match. Both men are champions right now. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. Chris Jericho, current IWGP Intercontinental Champion. Kenny Omega, the current IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So Bullet Club is packing some girls right now. Cody, who just won the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the Young Bucks are currently the IWGP World Tag Team Champions. They're also another openweight 6-man tag team champion with fellow Bullet Club member Marty Scurll. So Bullet Club is kicking ass right now in the wrestling world. They got gold, just like the Shield. Rollins IC champion, Roman Reigns Universal champion. Rumor has it that the Hell in a Cell match with Xavier and McIntyre will be a tag team title match. So should the Shield win, Seth Rollins will be packing to that.
Okay.
Then the Shield will have all of those. Should Roman Reigns beat Braun Strowman. If all this happens, the Shield will have damn near all the gold on Raw. And it wouldn't be the first time a faction has had all the gold. You remember Evolution, me?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, as much as we don't have deal with, she had time to go into this, we don't. But basically, Armageddon 2003, Evolution had all the gold, and we all know he who has the gold has the power, and he that has the power, damn show has the gold.
Yes. And we are just about getting ready to wrap up. I've had fun. I'm doing Burton. I had fun. I'll see you guys again. Peace.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. Have a great night. Have a great school year, everybody. For our little people in school, I'm Lee Houston, David Burton. Good night, everybody.